Bluto, who's back here, to make sure that Alison speaks loud. Let's welcome Alison.
Good morning. It takes me a while to warm up people. My job requires me to be social, to be comfortable speaking in front of crowds, on the radio, and on television. In these environments, I act confident, but in reality, I'd rather go crawl underneath a rock and hide. I'm shy. I'm an introvert, and I prefer to keep things underneath the radar, whether it's my personal life or my personal thoughts. I'm lucky that in most public situations, I'm representing an organization, a mission, or a cause. I'm not personally exposing myself. I joined Toastmasters to gain inner confidence, to gain confidence in my own voice. And so I figured one way to begin is to let you know what I'm like when I really get comfortable, which is about the farthest thing from what I feel like right now. When I'm comfortable, and whether it's in front of people or in an environment, there's an unconscious switch in my brain. And it truly is unconscious. I don't know when it happens, but it often surprises me. And when this switch takes place, what happens is that I start to talk like a 16-year-old surfer. My vocabulary decreases significantly to the point of embarrassment, and words like killer, awesome, totally, and especially dude, get thrown into my vocabulary and litter my speech. Now, you would think that with surfer lingo, I grew up in California, or perhaps along a coast. But growing up in Illinois and Iowa are about as far away as you can get from any ocean. I've always tried to figure out why I have this addition to my vocabulary. And the one thing that I can think of is when I look back at dinner table discussions when I was in high school. I'd be sitting at the dinner table with my 3 younger brothers, and at some point in time we thought it would be great to start calling each other dude. Dude this, dude that, dude, pass me the ketchup. It drove my parents nuts, so of course we continued to do it more. My dad then banned us from being able to say the word dude, and his reasoning was the fact that no one in their right mind would ever name their child dude, because since it can't be a formal name, we can't use it. Well, I know that didn't hold water, but for us, when Dad puts down a rule, you have to follow it. But sooner or later, he was proved wrong, and he proved himself wrong. One day, he came home with a cassette tape that he had found from an artist named Dude Marley. And from that point, game on. I never caught on to my unconscious switch. I never knew that this was something that I did until one day, much later on in life, I was sitting in my boss's office. And he had this great leather couch. He'd sit in a chair over here, and I'd sit in the leather couch. And I liked sitting in the corner. I still like sitting in the corner and kind of getting all comfortable. And we would sit and we'd brainstorm ideas, and we'd come up with new projects. And it was just a time and a place where I knew my voice was heard. I got excited, and it was something that motivated me. One day, he started an idea, sparked an idea in my mind, and I just grabbed onto it. And I sat up and put my elbows on my knees and leaned forward, and I launched in, dude, get this, blah, 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 this, great idea here, great idea there. And I was sure I was nailing it. Whatever was coming out of my mouth must have been awe-inspiring, because every time I looked over at him, he was sitting there with his mouth open. So I kept going. I thought whatever I was saying was just purely wonderful and could not get any better. And so finally, after I let go of all my great brain ideas, I sat back and got comfortable and wanted to see what his reaction was going to be. And he just sat there and paused and then said, "Did you just call me dude?" It was a little hard. If I look closely, I see that surfer lingo has embedded itself into my everyday life. My husband and I have nicknames for each other. Dude. My 2 boys I call dude. It's a term of endearment. I also find that I use the word dude to soften the blow when I'm mad at them. It's like when I find their week's worth of homework shoved and squished in the bottom of their backpack, and as I pull it out, dude, what's up with this? Or last week when my 8-year-old somehow was able to make a Kraft mac and cheese bowl burst into flame. Dude. It's an unconscious switch. And as I said before, I'm pleasantly surprised when it happens. Maybe one day here at Toastmasters, I'll hear a speech, I'll get an idea, or I'll get really excited about something, and you'll just hear me shout out, dude! And at that point, you and I will both know that I'm comfortable.